You can have a lot of fun with your fall container gardening. I mean, I think, Jeff, hands down, it's like my favorite time of the year. You can have fun, it's time for pumpkins, it's time for being creative and really throwing a lot of colors into your containers.
Right, so with the container gardening, I always say it's for all 4 seasons. And so when you're starting with your containers, you don't necessarily have to rip everything out. You can just add some really cool fall stuff.
Okay, what would you suggest to get us started?
Yeah, so this is the Black-Eyed Susan, or Rudbeckia. So again, this is something that's going to flower through the fall. You can add that. It's great for cut flowers. It's a great perennial that you can add into your container. I also like to use some ferns. It gives some texture. Even though it's a shade plant, you can still add it, put it into your sun containers because the sun isn't as intense in the fall.
And marigolds are always a great basic.
Yes, and they're going to flower. These things flower all the way up until Thanksgiving. Now, another thing too that people don't realize, that you can use your succulents in your fall container. They can take it cool, and they even flower, so they're really fun to add in there. It gives it a little texture.
Now, what about just get them out before
Get them out before the frost if you're gonna wanna keep them inside.
Okay, this has been a favorite. I think you've popped this in our last couple of containers.
The little cute ornamental peppers is just little pops of color that you can add into your container.
Okay.
So we're just gonna build off of our ornamental grass. Claudia, you have some basil over there.
And you mentioned adding like an herb too. This has been a part of your container gardening
because again, it's that texture, it's that smell. It's great to use in containers.
And this is great because there's no rules to where you put it in. Just plop them in.
I always get all these comments like, Jeff, you don't have any dirt in there. I'm like, oh, it's overrated. You don't need any dirt. Who needs dirt? So we're just gonna keep adding till we get our container full.
Put something right in there. And then, of course, if you don't like the way it's looking, you can just rip things out, start
add
over
some pumpkins
again.
later, and we're good to go.
Add those pumpkins. All right, for more details, go to wallitsch.net.